Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how you can use different tools in order to automate sending emails from Google Sheets. When I say from Google Sheets, what I mean is that when a Google Sheet row or a column is updated, you can send an automated email to your client or to whoever else you want to, or even yourself to be aware of when an important Google Sheet is being updated. So you can set this up. So for example, let's say that your entire operations is being run on Google Sheets. And when a certain column, which is a client facing column, is updated, you want to let the client know that, hey, there's been a change in the status of your order and your order has been updated. For example, you can expect delivery on this so-and-so date. So you can set, you can use a tool like Automate.io, which I'm on right now, or you can use Zapier, or you can use Integromat. You can use several different tools to do this for you. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that on Automate.io. It's pretty simple. It's not that complicated. I'm going to show you how you can do it now. Okay, I'm going to turn. So I've already set it up, but I'm going to edit it and I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch again. It's very simple. It's just going to take 5 minutes. Okay. So before we came here, by the way, I set up the account. I had integrated my Google account with the Automate.io account so that it can automatically get access to my Google Sheets. If you guys want to know how to do that, let me know. It's not that tough. But now my Google Sheets is now linked to the Automate.io website. So the first thing I need to do, okay, it's connected. The first thing I need to do is choose my trigger that will trigger the action. Okay, so how all of these tools work, right? This is how Zapier works. This is how Automate.io works. This is how Integromat works. Even these other tools called If This Then That. So basically, what exists is there is a trigger, which when the trigger takes place, it will cause the action to take place. I feel like my English on that was not very good. The grammar was not the best, but that's essentially what happens. There's a trigger and there's an action. So first you need to set the trigger, and then you need to set up the action. So let's set up the trigger first. Now with Google Sheets, these are the options for what triggers you want. Okay, you can the trigger can be when a new row is added. So that's basically when you maybe add a new order to your order tracking sheet. For example, I'm going to continue throughout the video with this order tracking example. So new row or new or updated row, just an updated row, like the rows already exist, but your new row will not be a trigger. A new spreadsheet or a new worksheet. Okay, so I'm going to take new or updated row. The reason I'm going to take new or updated row for this example is because you want an email to be sent automatically in two cases. Number one, when a new order is added to your order tracking sheet. So you want your client to know, hey, there's been your order is now in process. And secondly, when that existing row has been updated, you want them to know that as well. Okay, so new or updated row, that's the trigger. Now I'm going to choose which sheet. I've already created a sheet over here. You can see it's called course test sheet. It has some very, very basic data. And so I'm going to choose that here. So I've already created it. So it's already there. Course test sheet. Worksheet, just worksheet one. Now, this is an interesting option, column. So it's optional. It's not compulsory. So what this basically states is that the trigger can either be whenever anything in that row is updated or when one specific column in that row is updated. So for example, I have a column called status. When status is updated, only then should the trigger be activated so that the email is sent to the client. So let's say it's status that's updated. Okay. By the way, these columns are obviously picked up from the first row of the sheet. Yeah. Okay. Now let's set up the other part. So I had chosen Gmail for the action. The action that I want is send an email. It could be many things. It could be add label to email. It could be archive an email, create new label, search for an email, search blah, 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 blah. But it could also just be add a draft. It could be create a draft. If you don't trust the tool to do it, you could just create a draft and then you could do it yourself. Could be reply to a specific conversation. So if you've already had a conversation with a client about it, you could use that as well. But I'm going to use send an email. From, so obviously that's going to be me, Sahil. What's my address? I'm going to put that manually. That does not need to come from the sheet, but actually it could come from the sheet, because if you have different people assigned for different orders, so for example, you have different account managers for different orders. Let's say I'm handling the L&T account, and somebody else is handling, Siddharth is handling the Bajaj account. So then what I could do is, on this, I could create another column that says sales manager, and the sales manager here is going to be Sahil. Now this new column won't show up automatically, but when I refresh, it will. So then I would just click on this plus button, and I would take the value of who the from is from that a sales manager row, right? It will take my name. The again, the same thing from the from address. So sales manager address would be my specific address. And then I could add that here, so that it's not going from Sahil Khandwala every time. It's not going from Sahil Khandwala's email address every time, but instead it's going from that specific sales manager who's handling that client each time. Now to name. So over here, you can see that I created a column for the name. So client name, John Smith for that person. So the to name is going to be the name. The to email address is going to be the email address of the person. I could add a CC, so I could CC myself in every email so that I know what's happening. Reply to address, again, same thing as this, the from address. You can specify it so that it is the reply to is the sales manager themselves. Okay. Subject, update. So I can say name, update to your order. Okay. Or it could be, you could also add a column over here with the order number. So you could say, John Smith, there's been an update to your order number, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Email type plain. Yeah, I think plain is best. You can do HTML if you want to do some fancy stuff, but for most people, plain will work best. Email body, hey, John Smith, there's been an update to your order. The new expected delivery date is, again, need to take this away, this expected delivery date, which will pick up from here. Okay. Thanks. And then again, I can press plus over here, and I can pick the sales manager who is handling the account. But since I've not refreshed this page yet, it won't take that. Okay. So that's it. That's simple. That's done. So now, every time this column status is updated, on this on this Google Sheet, an automated email will be sent to the client saying that there's been an update. You can obviously add more columns and stuff over there so that there's more information. So you can have information about what current status it is in, right? So for example, if I had a column over here saying current thing, current process, current process, and I can say manufacturing, right? So instead of updating this first, I update everything else first. Then at the last moment, I update this. Then automate.io will pick up all the information that is currently there about the different columns, and it will send the automated email. So then I can say the new expected, the current status of your order is in, and then I can press the plus button here, and it will take directly from here, and it'll say manufacturing. The current status is manufacturing. Okay, so yeah, that's how you do it. Okay, now I'm going to save this. And by the way, you can also add more steps to it as well. I'm currently on the free plan and I can't add more steps, but you can add more steps also. Zapier, Automate.io have many different integrations with many different tools, so you can add quite a few steps. So press save. Now my bot is currently off. I'm going to turn it on. Now I can test it. I can test it in two ways. I can test it using live data. So that means I go change stuff over here. Actually, not. I can only change the status thing, and then I press I'm done, and it'll test if the thing is working. It's very important to do the test to see if you've actually set it up correctly, because what I've shown you is a very simple example, but it can get quite complicated. Or I can just test using sample data, which I'm going to do because I just don't have the time. Name of my client, this name of the client is Sahil Khandwala. Status is email address is sahil071@gmail.com, and expected delivery, let's say, is today, 2508. Run test. Sorry. Okay, so okay, it has delivered. Now let me check my inbox. There you go. There it is. The new expected delivery date is blah blah blah, and yeah, it's damn simple. It's really easy to do it. You can see over here that okay, you can get into expensive stuff, but there's a free plan which will allow for 300 actions a month, but you should just be clear on what a action is. Over here, if you see what an action is, that each step is basically an action. So when the bot recognizes that something has changed, and then when the bot sends it, those are two specific actions. So basically, I can have 150 emails sent per month on the free plan. For a B2B business that is doing not too much stuff, this can be enough. This can be enough to just start off on your automation journey. And then on top of this, you can just build it up. This is obviously not the end all be all, but this is a way, if you find that in your process mapping, that this is a gap, this can help fill the gap for now. And yeah, you can keep adding more later. You can make it more complicated, but I would definitely say don't stay on the free plan forever. As automation is not a just a one thing, right? It's not just one step that you're automating. You're automating your business. So you want to get more things automated. You want to start using more steps, and as you do that, you start using more and more actions per month. And you'll want to move towards the paid plans. But the amount of work that will save you per month is going to be worth it. 700 rupees for per month for 600 actions, in my opinion, based on what you automate, will probably be worth it. So yeah, this is automate.io. If you guys want to see Zapier as well, which is very similar, let me know. Okay, bye bye. How do I stop this? There you go.